For the first time in 2,000 years, the Catholic Church has elected a pope from the United States. Let that sink in. An American-born priest, once serving quietly in Peru, now wears the white robe and bears the keys of St. Peter. But who is this quiet, deeply spiritual man known as Pope Leo XIV, and why are some calling him a bridge builder, while others fear he could split the church further? American Catholics have waited generations to witness something like this. For many, it feels like a moment of divine appointment, a spiritual homecoming. But others are asking hard questions. Is this truly a new chapter of hope, or just a more diplomatic continuation of a divided church? If you're just joining us here at Paradise Lost and Found, we go deep into faith, prophecy, and current events that shape the world we live in. If you believe in truth over tradition and want to stay ahead of what matters spiritually, take a moment now and hit that like button. It helps more truth seekers like you find this video. Robert Francis Prevost was born in Chicago in 1955. Raised in a Catholic home by French and Spanish parents, he embraced the faith early and joined the Augustinian order in his early 20s. By 1982, he was ordained and soon found his mission field not in America, but thousands of miles away, in the heart of Peru. There he spent over 2 decades ministering in Trujillo and Chiclayo, 2 areas with deep poverty and deep devotion. His hands-on approach to ministry and his cultural humility earned him the admiration of locals and church leadership alike. He eventually became a naturalized Peruvian citizen. In 2001, he was elected Prior General of the Augustinians, placing him at the helm of the global order. That role introduced him to leaders across the globe and laid the groundwork for what would become one of the most unlikely papal paths in modern church history. Prevost's rise was methodical. In 2014 he was appointed Bishop of Chiclayo by Pope Francis. A decade later he was named Prefect of the Dicastery for Bishops, the Vatican body responsible for appointing bishops around the world. It was in this role that Prevost honed his reputation as a man of discernment, balance, and deep listening. He gained a reputation for choosing moderate bishops who valued both tradition and compassionate outreach. Those in the know began to see him not just as a competent official, but as a future cardinal, and in 2023, Pope Francis elevated him to that very position. Still, few saw what was coming next. On May 8, 2025, after 4 tense rounds of voting in the Sistine Chapel, the white smoke billowed. The world waited to hear the name, and when it came, it was stunning. Robert Prevost, an American, a missionary, a quiet administrator. He chose the name Leo XIV, an intentional nod to Pope Leo XIII, the architect of Catholic social teaching and defender of the working poor. It was a powerful message. This would be a papacy focused not just on doctrine, but on justice. For American Catholics, the moment was electric. Some wept, others shouted with joy. The first American pope had arrived, and with him, a deep sense of history, turning a new page. Catholic parishes across the U.S. held impromptu vigils and prayer services. The emotion was real. Leo XIV's first public address was a careful blend of humility, challenge, and hope. He emphasized the need for unity in a fractured world. He extended olive branches toward other faiths, and he reinforced the mission of the Catholic Church as a force for peace, dignity, and truth. But what sets him apart is his unusual balance. Leo XIV is socially progressive in tone, but doctrinally conservative in content. He supports the pastoral care of LGBTQ Catholics, but draws clear lines on theological definitions of marriage and priesthood. He has opposed the ordination of women as deacons despite growing global pressure. Yet he speaks often of listening to the Spirit and valuing the insights of women in leadership. In many ways, he reflects a church trying to find its identity in a world that no longer listens. That duality makes him hard to pigeonhole, and that might be exactly what the Catholic Church needs right now. No pope enters office without scrutiny, and for Leo XIV, 2 past decisions have resurfaced with criticism. First, in 2000, while serving in Chicago, Prevost reportedly approved housing for a priest with abuse allegations near a school. No criminal charges followed, but the optics were troubling. Second, in 2022, while in Chiclayo, he faced allegations of inaction on another abuse case. The Vatican closed the investigation, but questions remain about his decisiveness in confronting scandal. To his supporters, these incidents are minor compared to the gravity of his decades-long service. But for critics, they raise concerns about whether Pope Leo XIV will follow through on long-promised church transparency. The world will be watching closely. Inside the Vatican, Leo XIV is seen as a bridge builder. He is neither firebrand nor figurehead. He prefers listening to speaking, discerning to declaring. That makes him trustworthy to some, and unpredictable to others. American Catholics hope his leadership will breathe new life into a dwindling church. With plummeting vocations, disaffected youth, and politicized faith, the church in the U.S. is starving for moral clarity and spiritual conviction. Many see Leo XIV as a pope who can bring credibility back to the faith in America. Globally, Catholics hope he can steady the ship. The church is facing deep polarization. Latin American populism, African conservatism, European secularism, and Western liberalism are tearing at the seams. Can Leo XIV hold it together? If anyone can, it may be the quiet American with a Peruvian soul and a Roman discipline. At age 69, Pope Leo XIV is relatively young for a pontiff. He's in good health and has already begun forming his advisory team, a mix of trusted allies and unexpected voices. He has no social media presence, no flashy entourage, and no public ambition. But that humility is exactly why he commands respect. In his inaugural week, he's already signaled a focus on financial reform, interfaith outreach, and spiritual renewal. He may not reinvent the church overnight, but he is already shaping the tone of this era. In a world hungry for leaders who serve more than they speak, Pope Leo XIV may be exactly what this moment demands. From the south side of Chicago to the throne of St. Peter, Pope Leo XIV embodies something rare in today's world: conviction without pride, compassion without compromise. Will he be the Pope who heals a divided church? Will he face the scandals of the past with courage? Will he defend the faith while reaching those who've walked away? Time will tell. But today, history has spoken. And for the first time, it speaks with an American accent. So, Habemus Papam, and he's American. Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, born in Chicago and attended Villanova University, has been selected as the first pontiff from the United States. He'd taken the name Pope Leo XIV, and "Peace be with you all" were his first words to the world, before giving his first blessing from the papal balcony. What do you think? Is Pope Leo XIV a hope for unity or a symbol of compromise? Share your thoughts and comments below. And before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another video from Paradise Lost and Found. Cheers.